Welcome to Faith-Led Healing with Tammy Trayer, Integrative Health Practitioner and Certified Breathworker. Tammy's passion is to help people take their life and health into their own hands so they can live their best life ever. Imagine having the energy to fulfill your dreams and create the life you desire. Rebalance your body by removing the stresses and toxicity and start healing. Listen as Tammy guides you along the healthy path with the Lord leading the way.
Hey my friends, welcome to Faith-Led Healing Podcast. I am your host Tammy Trayer, and today is episode number 44. And we are going to talk about questioning our beliefs. I think this is such an important subject because many of us just go about living life. And we follow the path of everybody else. We don't question why people are doing the things they do. And it keeps us from, I believe, embracing a beautiful life by our own terms and based on the life we desire to live rather than the life other people desire to live or have dictated. So, with that being said, I'm just going to share two stories with you. One, my husband and I both watched people around us growing up. They all went to school, got a job, graduated high school, got married, had children, worked their whole lives, hardcore. Typically not really enjoying the life they're living, dreaming of doing these great things after retirement. And they get to that place and they either aren't well or they don't have the funds to do what they've desired to do their whole life. And my husband and I have always felt that we were born 200 years too late. However, I feel that we were both made for a time just as this. But we were made to live it by our terms, and that caused us to have to really analyze our beliefs and, in turn, our desires. And 15 years ago, we embarked on our journey together, living off the grid. And we had family and friends betting against us, and, a lot of naysayers, and a lot of people frowning upon the journey we were embarking on and the life that we ended up living. And I can't tell you how grateful I am that we not only went against the grain, but we didn't leave those negative voices stop us. Because instead of living that life with the end result being that we would embrace our dreams 50, 60 years from now, we are living that out every day. And it is serving us well. And it is a tremendous blessing. And it's an amazing blessing to share with you, because when we embarked on that journey, it was because of creating a website and doing a couple YouTube videos to pacify our family that we were still alive and well while we were living in a wall tent for 8.5 months while we built our home on raw land, that other people found us, and hence our online journey, educating and sharing our life, our faith, my healing journey. It's been really amazing. And if we didn't go against the grain and question the beliefs that were put in us, I know we wouldn't be here. I also want to share another story with you. I have a dear friend who is absolutely mortified and scared to death of birds. If a bird flies anywhere near her, she will throw her arms up in the air, cover her head, and go screaming, a blood-curdling scream. Where does that stem from? Her mom. Her mom did the same exact thing. We are not defined by other people's trauma. Though it's very easy to take on those things. We are not defined by other people's ideals either. We have the ability to question these things and make a life for ourselves. I see people believing all kinds of things, and I want to challenge you to question those beliefs, because I see it and I know it, that many of the beliefs that have been instilled in us by our world, by our government, by our families, are keeping us in a box. And I don't know about you guys, I'm not meant for a box. I live in a box of 4 walls, and I'm always desiring to be on the other side of it. I want to be outside. I want to live life. I want to be adventurous. But all of this requires change. And as we spoke about previously on the podcast and in the community, that change can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. A lot of change can be really invigorating and amazing and wild and freeing. And the freedom that you will find by embracing life by your terms and creating a life worth living is so powerful. You are teaching yourself, your children, to step out of the mold. We are all created to be peculiar. You'll hear me saying that a lot if you follow me and are in part of my community and my breathwork sessions. We are called to be peculiar. That is meant in a beautiful way. We are all unique and beautifully and wonderfully made, and we have purpose, and God has a plan for us. If we all followed the same mold and we all beat to the same drum, could you imagine how robotic our world would be? And if you look at our world, there is a lot of that happening. Everybody is worried about keeping up with the Joneses. Everybody is putting great priority on your wealth and your material things, and they're missing the mark on being present. Quality family time, living a slower pace. You know, as you hear me saying all the time, the world dictates a fast pace. Where did that come from? You know, the enemy and the world wants us in that fast pace because it's confusing, it's disheveling, it's tiring, it's exhausting. If we're working out of that place, can we be the perfect beings that Papa is calling us to be? And remember, I'm not saying perfect in perfectionism. I'm saying perfect in His eyes, perfect in His light, being able to be what we are called to be. And I think that's so important to recognize and to understand. And, you know, as I'm saying this, something else that comes to mind is not only do we have to question our beliefs, but we need to question our value and our worth, because so often we are in that place of comparison as well. You know, we are comparing ourselves to others because that's what we were taught to do. You know, if you're not working a better job than your neighbor, you know, you're frowned upon. But it doesn't matter. God has us all off doing what we are called to do. You know, some people are in the mission field and they're not making money. They're changing lives. Some people are high up on the chain in big corporations and they're making a difference that way. That's their calling. We need it to be a heart issue. We need to be chasing where our heart is desiring to go. It's okay to have amazing dreams and plans and desires. And what we need to do is meet Papa with those dreams and plans and desires And we need to put them at his feet, and we need to ask him, Papa, show me what you have for me. Lead me down the right path. Guide my steps. Give me wisdom, knowledge, direction, and discernment. And I'm going to add another one into that one today. Strength and courage. Strength and courage to go against the current. I think that's really important because so many people are afraid to make waves. They're afraid to change. They're afraid to disappoint. And I think that that's something that's real important in this conversation too. Because when we go against the current or the grain, a lot of our elders may frown on that and see us as delinquents and rebellious and that's okay. It's okay. Their disappointment will change when they see you thriving in a place you are meant to be. The other thing that happens in this scenario is not only are our beliefs set in what the world dictates or what our family has dictated for us, but sometimes also people in our lives didn't get to live their dreams, so they're shoving their dreams on us. And I can imagine there's many of you that are doing things in your life that don't nurture and serve you, but you're doing them because somebody else wanted you to do them. And I want to encourage you. If you have the deep heart desire to do something different, don't wait till they're gone or till you're in your deathbed and going, I wish I would have. I don't ever want to speak those words. I don't ever want to say, I wish I would have, I wish I could have, I wish I should have, woulda, coulda, shoulda. We need to learn to embrace what's on our hearts. A lot of times, what is on our hearts and what is our greatest desires also tend to be the gifts God has given us. I've always had a deep nurturing to help others. And I never in a million years thought it would work out at this level. Because, I felt all these years that I was serving others and nurturing others by sharing my experience and my lifestyle of off-grid and homesteading, traditional living lifestyle. I had no idea that God was taking me down this path, that my mess would become my message. But I was always doing what my heart desired. I work with a lot of people online. I've been connected with a lot of people online. We've climbed the same ladders. However, I've always felt like I was going the opposite direction in the stream. Like, it is not important to me to be doing the exact same thing and to be chasing an audience of hundreds of thousands of people. I'm chasing where God's taking me. I'm chasing where my heart is leading me. And I believe that's true of my family too. And I believe also that when we are free enough, or when we are willing enough to step out and do the things that nurture our souls, and we find that freedom, we also are a light to others around us, our children, our spouse, because we light up. When we're doing what we are called to do and we're doing what nurtures our soul, we are on fire. Really, we are in a lot of ways, and our light shines very brightly. And I believe that light becomes contagious, and people see us making a difference and doing things differently, and they are inspired to do the same. So I want you to question your beliefs, whatever they may be. This could be very surface level. This could go very deep. I do a lot of self-analyzing. I do a lot of, I love to grow. I love to be a better version of myself every day. And because of that, I really evaluate a lot of these things. And I've done it for so long. So I'll leave you with those two examples. But, you know, your job, your marriage, your children, your church, your lifestyle, the car you drive, the job you have, the hobbies and passions you have. Analyze all these things. Think about all these things. Your fears. I gave you the example of my girlfriend with the birds. You know, we've talked about fear and change and perfectionism and all of these things. Where does this stem from? You heard me talking about it last week when I was talking about perfection and how that need for me to be perfect stemmed from low self-esteem and also from other people pressuring perfection on me. And when I walked away from that, I was freed. It's so freeing to just put a post out on Instagram and not have the worry that I have a typo or that the font isn't the right font, or it's not 100% centered. You know, showing up and embracing our dreams and living a life worth living, it's also valuable. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. If you have desires to do things different, if you have desires to chase things, if your heart is calling you to something special, embrace it. Because if you're not, you're certainly not heading in the right direction. And you'll regret it at some point in your life. So that's my message for today. Join me in my community as we continue to unravel this topic for the rest of the week. And I will see you next Friday for another topic. So you guys take care. Have an awesome rest of your day and week. I love you all. God bless.
Thank you for joining us on Faith-Led Healing, where every day is one step closer to your best life ever. We hope you enjoyed the show and encourage you to join us at faithledhealing.com. Connect with us on your favorite podcast app and be sure to leave us a review. Remember, your best life is just down the path. The Faith-Led Healing